The WHO, which we have two stories. The next story is going to show you there's a new treaty that the WHO is going to control everybody in every country. But watch this. So the WHO has to get its money from somewhere. So at the time, I don't know at what
2021.
So he tweeted this out, but that time the Director General of the WHO admitted that the WHO was compromised. So I don't know what year this is from, but she was at the time.
Maybe 2017 or something.
I don't know what year it was, but here's what she's asked a question, and listen to how weird the question's asked. By the way, watch this.
WHO is constantly losing power. Important donor nations, they want a weak WHO. One could even compare WHO to Titanic, I would say. So isn't it your responsibility, Dr. Chan, to step down before the end of your second term in order to signal to the world that your organization, your ship is sinking?
One could say that the WHO is the Titanic, a beautiful love story.
I will never forget it, is what I'm saying.
Who asked the question, but why is the WHO too weak? And shouldn't you step down because of your weakness? That's a German question, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it sounded like the most...
German question?
Stalin just killed his job, but Hitler would dress him down like that.
Yeah, so let's hear what she says back. She's saying, well, how come the WHO doesn't have more power? Okay. Oh, look, there's a date behind her head. I can't see what it says.
It said 2017 documentary, so it's probably 2015.
Okay, so maybe this is 2015.
Wait, why is that question is so bizarre? Why, a reporter is like, why is it so weak? And shouldn't you step down because it's so weak? Like,
you should be stronger. Okay, ready?
You asked an excellent question. If I tell you, WHO as an organization, only 30% of my budget is predictable funds. Other 70% I have to take ahead and go around the world to beg for money. And when they give us the money, they are highly linked to their preferences, what they like.
So what she just said was that the people who fund the WHO, just like the people who fund MSNBC, CNN, and Fox and New York Times, the people who fund those news organizations, just like the people who fund the WHO, they want control. They're going to give you money, and so you do what we want. And if you don't do what we want, we're not going to give you money. It's not like we actually give a shit about people and health and the world. So that's what she's just admitting there. And do you want to know who are the donors?
Well, it sounds like she was. This one, reminded me of that question. I watched it a few times where the German's like, "Oh, isn't it weak?" And you're not. When Biden had some town hall, someone goes, "What are you doing to protect Taiwan?" There's a guy in the crowd,
yes,
and it's almost like a plant, and it's like for her to say this.
Oh,
like she's
I wouldn't
set
doubt
up to say this.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt.
May not be the priority of WHO. So if we do not solve this, we are not going to be as great as we were.
So they're not solving it because here's who contributes to Germany. They say Germany.
Oh my God.
Germany is the #1 contributor to the WHO. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But if you look, the next one is Bill and Melinda Gates.
Oh, you feel good about that.
And then the next one is the United States.
Even better.
Then the next one is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Then the next one is the European Commission. The next one is Gavi. Now, who is Gavi?
Bill and Melinda Gates again?
That's Bill and Melinda Gates again. So if you put these two together, not only is Bill and Melinda Gates the #2 donor and supporter of the WHO and dictating policy at the WHO, they are now almost #1 funder.
Ooh.
They just barely slide
split
under.
It into two.
So 751 and 432 comes out to, I think, 1125. So I think that's 1126 or something like that.
You still lost to Germany.
So they still lose to Germany, I think. I'm not a math surgeon. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on the math, but that just shows you the people. So who's running that is Bill Gates.
In Germany. Don't worry. There's checks and balances.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And I'm sure Bill Gates doesn't have any compromat on any of the German anyway. So and you want to know about Gavi?
Yeah.
So Gavi, this is basically Bill and Melinda Gates. So
About Gavi.
About Gavi. Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, helps vaccinate almost half the world's children against deadly and debilitating infectious diseases. Created in 2000, Gavi is an international organization, a global vaccine alliance bringing together public and private sectors with the shared goal of saving lives and protecting people's health by increasing equitable and sustainable use of vaccines.
That's nice.
Bill Gates made $500 million during COVID off the COVID-19 vaccine. Bill Gates made $500 million. Well, everyone else was getting crushed. He was making $500 million off that vaccine. And as soon as he cashed in that stock, he started shitting on the COVID-19 vaccine, talking about how it didn't work.
That's not sustainable.
That's what he did. And then and then here it is. Gates Foundation pledges $750 million to set up Gavi in 1999. And then the foundation is a key partner in vaccination.
Hey, wasn't that when he was, that was back in the Epstein days when he was still hanging out with him?
Yeah. So Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation pledges $1.6 billion to Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to protect the next generation with life-saving. That's what they're doing.
Sweet life-saving vaccine.
That's what they're doing. Sweet life-saving vaccines. So if you want to know a little bit more about Gavi, here's from their Wikipedia. It said Gavi also seeks to improve the economics of vaccines, negotiating bulk prices and supporting price discrimination. Do you know what price discrimination means? So that means that they can charge wildly different prices to wildly different people. So they can exploit people, and then they can exploit other people. And they can do that. And the only way you could do that is if they have a monopoly.
Yeah. It says it in the Wikipedia.
It says it in the Wikipedia. It says, also, and they're for reducing the commercial risks that manufacturers face when selling vaccines to the poor and when developing vaccines. It also provides funding to strengthen health systems and train health workers across the developing world through the effectiveness of its health system strengthening programs, although the effectiveness of its health strength programs is disputed. That says it right in Wikipedia.
Why? Because there's not enough beds?
So what does supporting price discrimination mean? Listen to this. Is going to blow your mind. I think it blew my mind. It says price discrimination is a microeconomic pricing strategy where identical or largely similar goods or services are sold at different prices by the same provider in different market segments. For price discrimination to succeed, a firm must have market power, such as a dominant market share, product uniqueness, sole pricing power, and or complete regulatory capture, and a creepy long-standing tie with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, the last two, I inserted those.
So the last two I made up.
Wait, but you know what that reminds me of? When I used to get Propecia, that may not make your hair not fall, back when I thought I had a chance.
Yeah.
So Propecia is like it's like $1 a pill or something. I remember when I first started getting
Is it?
Yeah, and I
took it.
I didn't have a prescription plan. So my doctor would say, hey, what you do is get I forget what the actual finasteride, which is the prostate shrinking drug. It's the same damn drug.
Yeah.
It's just 5 milligrams instead of 1 milligram. And you get a pill cutter and break it up into fifths or fourths or whatever, and it works just as good. Which I think they didn't like people doing that. But that sounds like price discrimination. Like in the same market, we can sell this one off brand. The only difference in Propecia and the finasteride was they made them in a different size pill and charge a lot more for it.
Yeah.
It was like a quarter of the price.
My also favorite part about Gavi is how they try to reduce commercial risks that manufacturers face when selling vaccines to the poor, and also when developing the vaccines. Sometimes you got to rush the development of a vaccine kind of like at warp speed.
Yeah.
And a lot of these backwards poor countries don't have the laws to completely shield big pharma companies from lawsuits when they injure people.
They're
That's why Gavi's there.
They're backwards out there.
They're backwards. Mm-hmm.
They even protect them.
So Bill and Melinda Gates, they split up, but it's great that these two living saints could still come together on this important issue.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that.
I think that was before they split up. That's from 2020.
Oh.
So the WHO is completely compromised. They admit it. Who's running it? Bill Gates. For the most part, it's Bill Gates is dictating to the WHO what's happening there.
And that lady is now replaced with that Ethiopian like war criminal.
So yeah, so
right?
that guy, so the guy who's in charge of the WHO now is not, by the way, not even a doctor.
No.
He's a veterinarian. Right? Is it? No,
That's
that's the other guy in charge.
Pfizer.
That's the Pfizer
He's the
guy.
one, that reporter. Who's a reporter from?
But the guy from in charge of the WHO now is he's in bed with terrorists in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
That's what our friend. Why am I blanking on her name? Hermela.
Yeah,
She
I
told
remember
us.
she said that. I was like, it blew my mind. Like,
What's his? Is he a doctor? Could you look up if he is a doctor? Hey Siri, is the head of the WHO a doctor? Tedros. Oh, let's see what it's going to come up. It's going to tell me in a second. He has graduated from the University of Asmara with a Bachelor of Biology before earning a Master's of Science in Immunology and Infectious Diseases from the University of London, a doctorate in philosophy. So he's not a doctor. He's not a doctor.
Doctor of philosophy.
He's a doctor of. He's got a PhD. He doesn't have. He's not a medical doctor. He has a master's degree. He's a master's. That's a far cry from being a doctor.
I say replace him with Dr. Cosby.
So
he's a doctor.
And he's a criminal. That's why he's in charge of those. That's why he gets to be in charge of the WHO. Again, do you think that these people, just like the head of Pfizer, the head of Moderna, the head of the FDA, these people are all corrupted criminals? Okay?
Remember him, the clip we played of him when he's mad? Why you get all that money in Ukraine? We could have some. I'm over here running the WHO, and I'm going to get the money.
So, and this is important that they're this compromised because of the next story I'm going to tell you. Hey, everybody, check out my new stand-up special, COVID Lies Are Funny, only $10. And come see us live in Syracuse, Cohoes, New York, Hartford, Los Angeles, Bakersfield, Baltimore, San Francisco, Huntington Beach, and more. Pottstown, even. Go to jimmydore.com for a list of all of our things and see you there.